Came out of the plane, and a young man that is well dressed with a nice suit came to me and said, I am from the DSS, Department of State Security, and would like to meet with you in our office. I said, that's fine. Where is the letter of invitation? He said, my bosses have it. I will escort you to them. I said, I'm going through immigration. I have to do that. Just get me the letter. So he said, okay. But I noticed that as I started going, more and more people came out. Apparently, I didn't know because I slept through most of the flight, and even when we landed, I didn't call any of my guys to learn what was going on. But apparently, they had moved about 50 DSS operatives to the airport with the specific instructions that I should be detained, I should be abducted and detained. I will come to other details. But so we started working, but I saw more people coming out. You know, I'm a politician, I'm used to crowds, I'm used to people surrounding me. And then as we moved forward, we came to the point that I either go right for immigration or left for the e-visa. And the two officers came forward, one big fat one and another about my height, and said, we are from the DSS, sir, we are going this way. We need to go to your office. I said, I'm not going to your office. I'm not going anywhere until you show me a letter of invitation. Your guy said you have a letter. He said, no, sir. I said, if you don't have a letter, I'm not going. You know my house. I live very close to the DSS headquarters. I can even walk down there if you bring a letter of invitation. So I tried to turn right, and they tried to force me to go left. I said, look, don't touch me. I'm going with my passport to have it stamped. And I'm not going where you want. He said, you have to go to where I want. I said, even the president cannot tell me I have to do anything. It's a free country, it's a democratic country, and I don't have to do anything that I do not wish to do. So you are just a middle-level or senior civil servant. The president cannot tell me what to do. Don't say I have to. It's inappropriate language. And I turned right. By then, of course, some of the passengers had come and began to form a crowd. So I turned right and I moved on, presented my passport, it got stamped. And remember, before you stamp the passport, a DSS operative has to look at it and then hand over to the immigration officer. This were done. If there was any issue that is really official, the DSS operative would have told me we've been asked to hold your passport. So they stamped, gave me my passport, and I walked out. But these guys were still following me, saying I have to go with them. I said, you are wasting your time. I'm not going. I'm a citizen of this country, and I've been in government long enough to know the process, the procedure for any investigation. You are free to invite me, and I have been in government long enough to respect institutions. So just give me a letter of invitation. If you don't have a letter of invitation, forget it. I'm not going. But he felt that he could take me by force with the 50 armed DSS operatives he had. But by then, the crowd had become bigger. Passengers from the plane that came with me, as well as the people that came to receive me, now surrounded and said, that's not going to happen. They came up with a second scam. Where is your passport? I said, it's just been stamped. You saw it stamped. Yes, and then one of the immigration officers that is their surrogate said, no, we want to check something on the passport. I said, sorry, once the passport is stamped, it's my private property. And I held on to it. But one of my aides quickly took it away from me, maybe thinking that he would protect it better. That's the aide that got beaten up, and they seized the passport from him.
They beat him up?
They beat him up. If I had the passport with me, I would I would not be talking this. So this is essentially what happened. They are overpowered. They came with 50 people, but I think maybe 45 out of the 50 decided that this is not appropriate or this is not possible. Yeah. And I was actually quite touched, Charles, by the way people spontaneously, without any knowledge or any plan, decided that this must be resisted. And I think it portends a danger that the security agencies need to have a rethink. Because once people begin to lose confidence in the neutrality of such institutions, we are on our way to anarchy.
Right. So let's just be very clear. And thank you for explaining very lucidly what happened.
Yeah, but I want to add something.
Yes.
Because my lawyers issued a statement after that mentioning EFCC. I want to say very clearly, it wasn't the EFCC, okay? It was the DSS.
Right.
But the DSS were procured to abduct me by the ICPC that has never communicated with me ever, okay? The EFCC had written to me while I was away to say that I would like to have a chat with you over certain issues. And I replied, my lawyers replied that, well, I'm not in the country, I'm on my annual vacation. And once I know the date of return, I will let you know. And we have written to EFCC to say that, I will celebrate my birthday with you. My birthday is 16th February on Monday. I will celebrate my birthday. I will come and see you at 10 a.m. on the 16th. So it wasn't the EFCC. But my lawyer thought it was the EFCC, but it was not. Subsequently, we found out that it was the ICPC that procured the DSS to abduct me and then hand over to them. And this is a modus operandi of the ICPC that increasingly has become a personal tool of Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu made the call and made the order that I must be in custody yesterday.
How do you know he made the call?
He made the call because we listened to their calls. The government thinks that they're the only ones that listen to calls, but we also have our ways. He made the call, he gave the order. And
so you tapped his phone calls, did you?
Someone tapped his phone and told me.
Because that technically is illegal.
I know, but the government does it all the time. They listen to our calls all the time without a court order. But someone tapped his phone and told us that he gave the order. So, but the EFCC, I think, has shown itself to be more professional in this particular instance. And on Monday, by the grace of God, I'll go and see them. Yesterday, around 5 p.m., the ICPC finally did the right thing, not the DSS that tried to abduct me, by bringing a letter to my house to say, we want to see you on Friday the 13th. My lawyer wrote back to say, guys, my client is not an idle person that has no program. He's just waiting for a letter from anyone. We've received your letter. We will, now that you've written an invitation, you've had the courage to write an invitation, we will honor the invitation. But on Monday, we are going to EFCC that has written before. So we'll go there. After the EFCC, we'll go to ICPC on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what the lawyer has written, but this. So this is the current state of things as far as we know.
Okay. Well, let me just make clear that the Office of the National Security Advisor has a right of reply, because that is how we operate journalistic fairness.
Absolutely.
So, because you've made an allegation against him saying that he essentially gave the order to come and pick you up.
Yes.
They have a right of reply if they so choose.
Yes.
But
and yesterday they met the National Security Advisor, the Governor of Kaduna State, and the Chairman of ICPC met. And they have decided that I must be abducted today.
Not arrested, but abducted.
Yeah, abducted because, arrest, people use arrest. They don't know that arrest has a legal meaning. Arrest means a lawful activity, okay, with a warrant. The police have, under the Police Act, they have a clear, they can arrest you without a warrant. But every other agency must go to a judge and show cause, okay? So when you try to take a person without a valid order, it's not an arrest, it's an abduction.
But critics might argue, and we could quibble over the law and the legality of it, but they might argue that once an investigative agency issues an invitation, timing is at its discretion, not yours. Why should the EFCC or the ICPC or whatever wait for your chosen date rather than compel attendance immediately?
If they want to compel attendance, they need a court order to convince a judge why time is of the essence. There is no law in Nigeria that says once you're invited on a particular date, you must go that instance. You have your life, you have your plans, and some things cannot be postponed. You may have business transactions that you lose millions of dollars. They are not going to compensate you if you miss those meetings. So the law does not give them blank check to call you at their convenience. If it is not convenient, your lawyer would write and negotiate and say, look, he will come at this time.
Right. Other critics might say that powerful politicians like you often frame investigations as persecution. Why should Nigerians see this as a constitutional issue and not simply due process catching up with you?
Look, Charles, I have been in public service from 1999 to 2007. I left, went into opposition for 8 years, and have been in government for another 8 years, okay? So I have 16 years record of public service. And I have challenged every Nigerian that has worked with me or knows me to come forward to you and expose me if I've ever taken a bribe or demanded a bribe or done anything unlawful in the course of my duties. Right. I have said that on national television. There are 250 million Nigerians to come forward and prove me wrong.
Well,
okay, so yeah. I'm coming.
Sure.
And in this latest round of persecution, I've been persecuted before by the Eradua Jonathan administration. That's all documented in my book, The Accidental Public Servant, where they investigated me ad infinitum and found nothing. In the end, I was charged to court for one alleged offense, that in my tenure as Minister of FCT, in which I approved the allocation of land to 27,000 people and companies, one of the 27,000 plots was allocated to my wife. That's abuse of office. They lost. The judge abused the EFCC and warned them not to do things like that. So I have been through this. Now, this round of persecution was designed by the federal government, and they have used my successor, Ubasani, to be the enabler. They have investigated me since June 2023 in Kaduna and have come up with nothing. They have arrested my former chief of staff, my commissioner of finance, my commissioner of local government, virtually all our senior officials, my senior advisor, Councillor Jimmy Lawal. They have been interrogated. They have tried to pin things on them. They have charged them to court. Most of the charges are frivolous, and I'm quite confident they will lose. They will all be discharged and acquitted. They have not found anything. Well, in fact, right. Charles, they have got so desperate now, they have stopped going after those that have worked with me in Kaduna. They now randomly go after businessmen, private sector people that are suspected to be my friends. One of them has been in ICPC detention for 73 days today. Even though he has got an order from a court for him to be granted bail, they said they are not going to grant bail. Why? They are under orders. So this young man, Ahmad Sule of TMDK, has been in ICPC detention for 73 days without bail. They have procured a judge in Kaduna, by the whom I have submitted a petition to the NJC for his misconduct. They have used that judge not to grant him bail, to say, I will do accelerated hearing. And he will not accelerate the hearing. They want to keep him until after the elections because they suspect that he is the one that is funding the activities of the ADC. They have looked at his accounts for the past 3-4 years. They have found nothing. They have found absolutely nothing, but he's still in detention.
Right.
The person that took the story to them is a gentleman called Rahamania. I'm sure you've heard of the name. He went and said that this man's business is mine, that he was my fraud, even though I didn't know the guy until 2018 when he came to Kaduna to build something. So this administration has become desperate. They are determined to bring down everyone. They think that we are like them, that we were thieves in government. So they have done the investigation. They were sure they would find something. Till now, till tomorrow, they have found nothing.
Everyone is talking about a strong statement that has stirred serious conversation across Nigeria's political space. Reno Omokri has publicly described former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai as Nigeria's Jeffrey Epstein, and that comparison has quickly spread across television discussions, social media platforms, and political circles because of what it suggests about trust, influence, and how power is exercised behind the scenes. Please take a moment now to like this video and subscribe so you can always stay updated as we break down stories like this in simple and clear language. The comment did not come out of nowhere. It followed a period of rising tension between political figures and growing debate about statements that were made regarding private communications and political strategy. Many observers say the remark reflects deeper disagreements about how information is handled in politics and how leaders speak about sensitive matters in public. The conversation is not only about the words themselves but about the wider meaning behind them and what they reveal about the current political climate. Reno Omokri is known for speaking very directly. Over the years he has built a reputation for sharing strong opinions on national issues, often challenging public figures and questioning decisions he believes deserve scrutiny. Because of his background in government and his active presence in public debate, his statements usually attract attention quickly. When he makes a comparison that's strong, people naturally want to understand why. Nasir El-Rufai is also a prominent voice in Nigerian politics. Having served in key positions, including as governor of Kaduna State, he remains influential and continues to shape discussions on governance, policy, and the future direction of the country. Supporters see him as a firm and outspoken leader, while critics sometimes question his approach. Because of his long history in public service, any controversy involving him tends to become a national talking point. What makes this situation particularly interesting is the timing. Political conversations are already becoming more intense as leaders and commentators position themselves for future developments. In such an environment, statements carry extra weight because they can influence public perception and shape narratives that may last for months or even years. Many Nigerians are asking what exactly prompted the comparison. Commentators say it relates to discussions about political tactics and claims involving private communications. The issue has sparked questions about privacy, accountability, and the boundaries of political competition. While different sides interpret the situation differently, the central theme remains the same: trust in leadership and respect for democratic principles. Some people see Omokri's statement as a warning about the importance of transparency. They argue that public officials must always be careful about how they handle information and how they speak about sensitive matters. Others believe the comparison is too strong and reflects the heated nature of political rivalry rather than a balanced assessment of events. This difference in opinion is part of what keeps the story alive in public conversation. As discussions continue, analysts point out that political debates in Nigeria have become more visible and more direct. Social media has created a space where leaders, commentators, and citizens interact in real time, often responding immediately to new developments. This means that statements can spread quickly and trigger reactions before detailed explanations are provided. Another factor that makes this story important is the broader question of how political disagreements should be handled. Healthy debate is essential in any democracy, but many citizens also hope that discussions remain respectful and focused on issues that affect everyday life. Stories like this remind people that words can shape public trust and influence how leaders are viewed. For ordinary Nigerians, the story may feel distant at first, but it touches on matters that affect everyone. Questions about privacy, responsible leadership, and open communication are relevant to the functioning of government and to the confidence people have in institutions. When public figures exchange strong statements, it often reflects deeper debates about values and priorities. There is also the media dimension. News outlets and commentators play a role in explaining events and providing context so that audiences can understand what is happening beyond the headlines. The way stories are reported can influence how people interpret them, which is why balanced analysis is important. Observers note that Nigeria has experienced many moments where political rhetoric becomes intense, especially during periods of transition or preparation for future elections. This is often when alliances shift, new strategies emerge, and public debates become more active. The current conversation fits into that pattern, showing how political dynamics continue to evolve. Supporters of both figures have shared their views. Some defend Omokri's right to speak openly, saying public debate should allow room for strong opinions. Others defend El-Rufai, emphasizing his record in public service and arguing that political commentary should remain fair and measured. These differing reactions demonstrate the diversity of perspectives within the country. The story also highlights how political communication has changed over time. In the past, many discussions happened behind closed doors, but today they unfold in front of the public. Citizens can follow conversations as they happen, forming their own opinions based on available information. As people continue to discuss the issue, many are reflecting on the importance of focusing on national priorities. While political disagreements attract attention, citizens also want leaders to address key challenges such as economic growth, infrastructure development, and social stability. Balancing political debate with practical solutions remains an ongoing expectation. Another interesting aspect is how language is used in politics. Comparisons and strong phrases can capture attention, but they also carry responsibility. Public figures know that their words will be examined closely, and this awareness shapes how messages are delivered. Some analysts believe the situation may lead to further clarification or responses, as public figures often seek to explain their positions when controversies arise. Whether or not additional statements are made, the conversation has already sparked reflection on the standards of public discourse. It is worth noting that political stories often develop in stages. Initial comments lead to reactions, which may then lead to deeper discussions about policy and leadership. Observers will continue to watch how this situation evolves and what it may reveal about future political interactions. In the midst of all this, many Nigerians are emphasizing the importance of staying informed. Understanding the context behind headlines helps citizens engage more thoughtfully with national conversations. It also encourages a culture of critical thinking, where people consider multiple perspectives before forming conclusions. Please remember to like this video and subscribe so you can continue to receive clear and balanced updates on important stories shaping the country. Looking at the bigger picture, this moment reflects the vibrant nature of Nigeria's democracy. Public debate is active, voices are diverse, and conversations continue to shape the national narrative. While disagreements may be strong, they also demonstrate that citizens and leaders are engaged in discussions about the direction of the nation. Another point to consider is the role of accountability. When public figures make statements, they are often expected to provide explanations and stand by their words. This expectation is part of a system where transparency and responsibility are valued. Some citizens have expressed hope that discussions like this will encourage more thoughtful communication among leaders. Clear and respectful dialogue can help build trust and create an environment where policy debates are productive rather than divisive. At the same time, others see the situation as a reminder that political competition can sometimes lead to sharp exchanges. They believe it is important to focus on the substance of issues rather than only on the tone of debates. As conversations continue, commentators are also examining the historical context of political rivalries in Nigeria. The country has a long tradition of robust debate, where different viewpoints compete in the public sphere. This tradition reflects a society that values participation and expression. Another dimension of the story is the public's role in shaping discourse. Citizens influence conversations through their reactions, comments, and engagement with news. In a connected world, public opinion can amplify certain topics and encourage further discussion. Many observers emphasize the importance of maintaining a balanced perspective. While headlines may be dramatic, understanding the underlying issues helps create a clearer picture of what is truly at stake. This approach supports informed decision-making and constructive dialogue. In the coming days, attention may shift to how leaders address ongoing challenges and whether discussions move toward policy solutions. Regardless of the direction, the current conversation serves as a reminder that political narratives are constantly evolving. For young viewers especially, this story offers an opportunity to learn about the dynamics of public debate. It shows how opinions are expressed, how reactions unfold, and how conversations contribute to the democratic process. As the nation continues to move forward, many citizens hope that discussions will remain focused on unity, progress, and shared goals. Constructive dialogue can help bridge differences and encourage collaboration in addressing national priorities. It is also important to remember that political stories often reflect broader societal conversations. Issues such as leadership style, communication, and accountability resonate beyond individual personalities and speak to collective values. Throughout this period, staying engaged and informed allows citizens to participate meaningfully in national discussions. Whether through conversation, voting, or community involvement, every voice contributes to shaping the future. Please take another moment now to like this video and subscribe, because your support helps us continue bringing clear explanations of important developments. As we reflect on the situation, it becomes clear that public debate is a vital part of any democratic society. While strong opinions may create headlines, they also encourage dialogue and reflection on how leaders and citizens interact. Many people believe that respectful discussion, even when disagreements are strong, can lead to better understanding and improved decision-making. This perspective emphasizes the value of listening as well as speaking. The ongoing conversation also highlights the importance of media literacy. Being able to distinguish between opinion, analysis, and verified information helps audiences navigate complex stories with confidence. In the end, the headline has sparked more than just a moment of attention. It has opened a wider discussion about leadership, communication, and the standards expected in public life. These conversations contribute to the evolving narrative of Nigeria's political journey. As events continue to unfold, observers will watch how the story influences future debates and whether it leads to deeper reflection among political actors. Regardless of the outcome, the discussion underscores the power of words in shaping public perception. Thank you for staying with this detailed breakdown. Please remember to like this video and subscribe so you never miss important updates and thoughtful analysis as we continue to follow stories that matter to you and to the nation.